Home, home.
Have your online?
Yeah.
Nice. It's coming up as insomnia.
It can't come up as insomnia.
I mean, I just saw insomnia.
Hello?
Hey, can you bring me in the 110 Conibear that we were looking at earlier? It was on the couch.
Yeah, well, now it's back in the shop.
Well, go get it.
Or get Bubba to get it. Bring it here. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I changed it.
I
Is it coming up different now?
mean, I'm not looking like I look now.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. Shouldn't have said that.
Can you put those up?
Can you put those up? Sure, sure. I can put them up. Yeah. Yeah. You put up now. How about that?
Dustin Dean. Who's that?
I don't know.
Somebody new, I think.
That's a new name. New name.
New name.
New
name.
name. New name.
New name. New.
Just like this one. Who is this? Yoper.
No. Oh.
Yoper Mama.
Youper Mama.
Youper Mama. Hello.
Youper Mama.
Little Green Acres.
No, that used to be somebody else.
Yep.
That's somebody we've known for a while.
Hope's Homestead in the house.
What?
What? Do we know who that is?
I
Who is
would have
that
never
person?
figured that she would have been able. Yeah, driving. She's.
I wasn't gonna bust her out like that, but way to go, Mom.
Well, I mean, she put it out there for everybody. How am I
Nobody
not
needs to
busting me
come.
out?
Pick
They're moving.
I thought it was.
No, they're moving.
I'm glad she shared it with me.
Well, if you see, he's busted. You don't ever follow your videos anymore.
I never watched it to begin with. She knows that. Just like she doesn't watch ours. Hope is a lot like me. She won't watch. She doesn't watch a lot of homesteading videos.
Mm.
Why? Because she just never wants to be accused of copying somebody's video.
Yeah, they moved in today.
Oh, awesome sauce. Moved in today.
I'm so glad y'all remember me. Yeah, I remember.
How can we?
It's like
Prissy Green.
Yeah, Prissy Green. That's right.
What's up, Mark? What you drinking?
Mark, your oil should be coming in here pretty soon. Oh.
No.
Did you cut your hair?
No. I didn't cut my hair.
No.
I'm gonna get it cut though.
He thought you had more gray.
Harmony Homestead. What's up from Oregon?
So you can't even turn it on like low.
Okay, let's see. Now, they'll have to see if they can hear it.
Oh, I'm sure they can hear it.
Or if it's too loud.
Y'all have to let me know.
Loud.
And keep in mind pre-menopause. Just saying.
Loud.
You can't, you gotta sit like, there you go.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you. I am burning up. I'm like right in the middle of a midnight.
Michelle, what's up?
He asks, what does the bumping fists mean?
Means this.
It is not too loud.
But it could be worse. That could be this.
Yeah, hey Josh. Josh is here.
Josh.
What's up, Josh?
Josh is my friend.
Yes. That Josh too?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I know. You have two Josh friends.
Yes, but that's my original Josh friend.
Oh. Holy crap! Where are all these people coming from?
What? Wayne? What? Lonely Prepper? What?
So who is Dustin Dean? We are putting our stove in tonight for our trailer. We're so excited. Awesome sauce. Where are all these people coming from? Colette Duchnowski? I mean, there's a lot
Geeky
of...
Gardens?
No, Geeky Garden's been here before. Mary S., glad to have you back. Hadn't
What's
seen...
up, Mary?
And you know what? She's probably been in. She just doesn't normally...
Yeah.
She usually says something like right at the beginning.
Harmony Homestead says, quit whining, put a pack on the back of your neck, and shut your pie hole.
Actually,
Pack
I
ice.
did have some peppermint somewhere, but...
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Oh.
Spritz. I do it for you.
So, we learned something this week. I don't normally... Okay, that's enough. I don't normally use lavender. I don't use it straight. I don't use it normally at all. I normally...
They live in Utah.
And they're subbed. Awesome.
Utah, that's another state we gotta go see.
Yes, it is. Very cool.
Right.
Well, we have another Dean, last name Dean, and that's why I was asking. Like, I didn't know if they were kin to Sherry or what. But anyway...
I want to go to Utah now.
What I was saying is, with lavender oil, I don't normally use it.
Can I interrupt you?
I mean, you're gonna anyway, so.
Somebody on Tuesday night admitted that they liked my music. The music that I was playing.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. I'm not gonna mention any names, but they
Oh.
sure are suburban.
Oh. Can I just say Peppermint is like the
Dustin
best,
Dean says they also have a channel.
like the
I'm gonna have
best
to check that out.
thing ever.
Robin, feel your pain with the hot flashes, not looking for them.
Okay,
It's
Mary, let me
150
just
now.
tell you, I am having instant relief right now. Like, I feel like there is a super ice pack on the back of my neck right now. Anyway, so what I was saying is I don't normally use lavender straight at all. I never use it by itself.
You
with
mix
anything.
it with Coke?
Or I diffuse it. We diffuse it at night. I don't ever topically use it at all. Let me say that back. I have used it for like a burn or something like that, but I've never used it straight to do that at all. Like, I've never done that. So basically, what?
You read Harmony Homestead.
Yeah, y'all need to have another auction. I want to bid on another Big Bear Homestead package.
I mean, we could probably do another auction, but it would just go to getting us to the conference fund.
I'm telling you.
Getting me
Or
to
not
truck
even
fund.
really that.
Ow.
More like getting stocked for the conference. Because, like, the thing is we know there's going to be
Nobody. Only
a lot of
only
people there.
One person did this week.
Really? I know there's going to be a lot of people there, and the way that our printer people are set up, we have to buy stuff ahead of time.
Oh.
And so the problem is that we just can't. I don't remember what all was in it.
I don't know either, but she just threw it out here.
Yeah.
Like, do it, $100.
$100. I don't remember what all was in it. Maybe if she'll remember. I'm
Simple
sure she's gonna tell me.
times.
But we definitely. I'm trying to put more things on our website to try and get.
Keep talking.
I can't get a sentence out without.
I'm reading what they said. I'm not talking
Okay,
over you.
so Big Bear package. We'll have to talk about that and see what we can do. As far as the lavender goes, really quick, funny story. I came home the other night and I was stressed out from work. I mean, like, super stressed out from work. And I came into the kitchen and the kitchen was a wreck because they had been trying to cook lunch and, dinner. They didn't pick up from lunch. I was just, like I said, stressed out. So I go into the kitchen and I start tossing dishes around, washing dishes. And Carol comes up behind me and pats me on the neck. Mom, it's okay. It'll be all right. Well, I finished doing what I was doing. I sat down, ate my dinner, and I woke up how many hours later? Like three hours later. Apparently, I can't use lavender straight because my Wayne, you're not funny. So apparently I can't use lavender completely straight because even the next morning, like, I slept. You would have thought I wouldn't have been able to sleep that night, but I did. I slept all night long. So that was kind of rough. Did you find it, baby girl? Thank you very, very much.
Go away.
Love you.
Yeah, when you're being pathetic, you can't come and get on screen. Love you, mean it. Cha-cha, y'all.
I sent
it up.
Carol up
Lavender
there,
knocked
but
me out for a
I
little
told
bit
her
during the
right-
hand show.
right where
Bye-bye.
it was.
Yeah,
Bye.
like I mean, I don't
Bye-bye.
normally use lavender by itself,
Bye.
and
Bye.
that is probably why, because it knocked me out.
So I'm gonna have to start checking out this Dustin Dean channel.
Mhm.
I just subbed, by the way. I can't believe I didn't know about you and wasn't subbed to you.
We're preparing to move into our trailer.
They're prepared to move to their trailer.
That's
and then-
awesome.
yeah. Super cool.
Very awesome.
And what's really funny is I wonder why they never came up with a suggestion, because they're right there with Keeping It Dutch. They did a collab with Keeping It Dutch. I wonder why their video never came up when Dutch's did.
I don't know.
I don't
That's
know.
weird.
But it's just like Irish Homestead family.
And then
I'm
Irish
subbed.
Homestead.
No. Stop.
No, there's two of them.
Stop.
No! How does it feel?
I wasn't giving out
Yes,
false information.
No, but you were interrupting me, so blah!
Knock knock. Knock knock.
Interrupting cow. Impatient cow.
But Irish Homestead
Homestead
family, they don't even show up on the side where you got the quick links. I'm subbed and the bell's rung. What's up with that? But they got great videos.
Joe knows say.
So I'm fixing to be starting to check you out there, Dustin. You're gonna see your views go up, man. So okay, we've been talking long enough. So let's get into the show. Ready to get into the show?
There you go. I like Irish Homestead family. They just posted their 2018 goals. That's cool. Cool. I'm gonna put that down before I pitch myself.
Okay. So in the news.
In the news.
The news. That's the news coming in. That's the sound it makes. Okay. So, how many of you, show your raise of hands, how many of you heard that the state of California may be breaking up into 3 different states? Now, while we're waiting on the hands to raise to see how many of them makes it, you and I were talking. That makes sense.
Kind of.
Kind of. I mean, the landmass alone,
Right.
California takes up about 15 of the states that are on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Same landmass. California's always broke because they got one governor, one state trying to run.
That almost the entire West Coast.
Yeah. And hey, Donna. And they just can't manage.
Right.
Especially when you got big cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco. What's the other one?
San Diego, Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, San Diego.
San Diego.
You said it's San Diego.
Yeah.
You know, you got.
If they
two-
wait a while, the faults may split them up anyway.
you got 2 Marine bases over there. But
Right.
it makes sense. But
Mhm.
here,
It begs the question.
the question.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the question that it begs. But you want your real time on.
It begs the question.
What's that going to do to the State of the Union?
What are the political implications?
Because you think about it, California, the whole stinking state was blue. So that, depending on how they break it up and how the population goes, That's
More
gonna-
stars on the flag, yep.
that's going to possibly put more left-wing individuals into the House. Plus, each one of those states is going to have, what is it, 1 or 2 senators?
Cheshire Canary says they've been talking about this for decades. There's even 2 different CB channels the truckers run on out there because it's so big.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the difference is, I don't know how far this discussion has ever gotten before, but it's past the House.
Yep.
It's now going into the Senate. So it has to be passed by the Senate and then, go from there. But it's made it this far is basically...
And now, but here's the thing that really, nobody's really talking about.
because not everybody's as brilliant as you.
I know. Everybody's worried about how many representatives in the House that they're going to get.
The electoral college
the electoral
votes.
college votes. The senators. Da.
Mhm.
But here's my question. What right now they're calling it Northern Cal, Southern Cal, and Cal, right?
Yeah, Carol and Ladessa, and I think it should be high Cal, low Cal, and no Cal. Sorry. I think it's funny. Like, Northern Cal should be high Cal, low Cal, and no Cal. You don't think that one's funny? I think it's hilarious. Everybody else says it sounds good. See? Everybody likes my idea. Menopause.
What's up, Forging?
It's not menopause that's making me
Freedom
goofy.
podcast?
But in all seriousness, all the giggling and everything, no. We thought of this before. We're all about puns. The girls and I are always, that's our thing. So when they started talking about it, it was supposed to be NorCal. There was an R in there. It was NorCal, SoCal.
You don't think that stood for Northern California?
No, it did. It did. That's what I'm saying is, and it didn't sound right to us. So we were like, should be high Cal, low Cal, and no Cal. We all thought it was funny.
But here's the thing. A lot of our agriculture stuff comes from California.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just researching real quick. Almonds, grapes, which means wine,
Ha
suburban.
ha!
Lettuce, strawberries, tomatoes, walnuts, hay, oranges. That's just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Jerry Arnold, there's another new one. Hello.
What can that do? What possibilities could that do? Well, here's the thing. Each part of that state will make its own tax.
Garlic, olive oil, there you go.
It will make its own tax. And then the counties in those states, they get to do their own sales tax.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we live in a county that is 7% sales tax.
Mm-hmm. The whole
Okay.
state is, I think.
Is the whole state now
I
7?
think so.
So can we see a rise in price in a lot of our goods that come out of California once it splits? I think you stand a very, very good possibility of watching all of these products that come from California, watching them go up.
Mm-hmm.
So even I think it was
Suburban says they're 8% there.
Yeah.
So it is higher.
Mhm.
Okay.
Told you.
Hmm.
Whatever it is.
So California has income tax and sales tax. We do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Foraging Freedom podcast channel said that's why we all need to step up our farming efforts and become self-reliant again. I could not
agree more.
agree any more. That is a 100% factual statement.
And now, it also makes you have to think kind of outside of the box.
Mhm.
Because some of the things that California produces, maybe somebody in Ohio can't produce.
Right, and that's what I was getting ready to. We also need to use, before the stuff gets shut down,
Mm-hmm.
we need to use situations or social medias and stuff like this to make contacts. Like us down here, we can grow collards like it's nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
We can grow muscadines and scuppernongs like it's nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
Peanuts like it's nobody's business. And a few other odd and end things that can stand the heat.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
We can grow loofah gourds like crazy. Just saying.
I think anybody can grow a loofah gourd like
No, but they like a hot, dry.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they do really well with the long summer, so.
Now, some of the more cooler temperature crops, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower.
Yeah, we can't, I mean, we can, but we gotta grow them like quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're going to grow them in the spring and summertime, you got to start them puppies
Inside, yeah.
inside in January. You know, December, January
Mm-hmm.
to be able to get them. But somebody like Kitty, or who was the Dustin Dean up there in Utah. They'll have no problem growing because they have cooler temperatures. So that's when you kind of have to hook up the whole trade and barter systems and those need to happen.
I want to see y'all grow avocado.
So do we.
I can start planting those plants in the next 2 weeks.
See, right now ours would already have to be in the ground.
Yeah, I mean they would almost be starting to produce. I mean, like even the lettuces.
Yeah.
Even the lettuces right now, we should have them in the ground, and they should be, little plants like about this big.
Yeah. The only reason why they're not is because we've had such a cold winter, and it's been dragging on that to be honest with you, I've been afraid to put some of those outside. I've got Swiss chard and some spinach right over there that I'm thinking about putting out, but I'm not 100% sure if I should.
And normally I don't pay as much attention to lows. I did in the past because the animals, trying to make sure everybody was kept warm. But this year with doing the temperature blanket, every morning I get up and I register the low and I crochet the low of the day until we get to the summer solstice, and then I'll switch over. But the thing is, I've had like 10 days where the low was in the 40s and low 40s, like 41, 42. So I know that we've consistently been flirting with a freeze for a while, because once we get to 40, usually it's downhill. It just kind of slopes to the 30s. But so normally we're in April now. We're halfway through April.
Yeah.
We're usually 50s.
Masters is done. And usually it's, hey, what's up, smoking? Reptile? Usually Masters is the tattletale sign.
Well, and I wrote that in our blog last week, is that typically, like before we homesteaded, we used to live in Augusta, and every year you knew that spring was coming when the traffic got bad, the prices on the menus got crazy, and people were stupid in the stores because they were Yankees. Anyway, so now we don't live there and we don't really deal with that. And the only way we know that the Masters is anywhere near coming is because our bees that we used to have would swarm every year of Masters Week. So we kind of knew that. But this year, it's like everything is just off the wall. One day the bees are out.
Dustin, you might want to stick around, bro. We finna do a giveaway.
Yeah. So anyway, so last frost date here was March 15th, not this year. Yep, exactly.
So that's one of the things that, Robin and I are going to kick around, and we're probably going to start a barter group on one of the social medias. It'll probably be Facebook. Where we're going to start it, monitor it, and it will be trade only. Trade only. No money. Trade only.
Donna was like, Yankees? It's just a different culture. Down south,
so with California.
Down south, everybody's so slow. And up north, everybody's quick. And when you have quick trying to melt into slow, it just clashes.
Trying to change the subject before you...
What? My money's no good?
Mr. Windswept, what's up?
What up? Your stuff went in the mail today. I thought that our we thought our supplier was going to be able to mail it, and they couldn't. Jason had to boogie down to our supplier to get it, and then we mailed it this morning, so it should be there Monday or Tuesday. So, are we getting rain yet? No, I don't think so, but I think it's coming this afternoon. Does repurposed Yankee count?
No. So, but that's the thing. That's something to definitely watch out for.
Yankees.
And keep in the news. Stay in and watch it. See what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've also, and I swore up and down I wasn't going to touch this, but it needs to be touched. At least for a little bit. A federal judge ruled that in Illinois, they can outlaw the AR-15 in high capacity magazines, because it's those type of weapons, the semi-automatic weapons, are not protected under the Second Amendment.
Yep, that's what he ruled. They're not protected.
So that's another thing you want to
Keep an eye out.
keep an eye out on. We're not going to get into that.
Illinois sucks. Did you say Illinois? You did like that chick that we met the other day when they were going back and forth. Illinois. If you're from Illinois, you say Illinois. Anybody
I'm
else
not from
pronounces the S. But I still love you.
So,
Certain guns are protected, huh?
Yankee
Hey,
living.
Yankee living. What's up?
Glad you got in late.
Oh no, my M and P is mine, all mine.
So,
Mm-mm-mm.
we only had one person show a picture from last week's contest. The sustainable seed starting pods out of your toilet rolls. Sup to family? What up? I only saw one picture in the Big Bear Homestead group. I did not see any. We didn't get tagged at all on any on Instagram or Twitter.
Michelle, get some rest, sweetheart.
Yeah, she had
Relax.
a fun show today.
She's sore. Her back's killing her.
Mm-hmm. So, and that was...
I don't know. I didn't catch it.
No.
I don't monitor that as much.
I know. You're a loser. Oh, you want me to, it was Terry.
Oh, okay. Me. Making coffee. Be right back.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Mhm.
Somebody needs some coffee right now.
I don't need coffee right now.
So, I think Terry's going to win a big bag of toilet paper rolls.
Speaking of which, you gotta get me the information for. I didn't send out the winner for last week. It just occurred to me that I should have sent that out, because that was soap and a soap bag and a lip gloss thingamajigger. Last time I'm touching a TP holder is when dropping it in the recycle bin. I use toilet paper roll or paper towel roll.
So I wanna rant for a minute about sustainability, and maybe y'all in this, and I'm not trying to sound sexist or anything, but this is kind of geared more to the girls.
Oh God, here he goes, ladies.
But today on my mail route,
Rocky Brook, what up?
I delivered close to 15,000 magazines today.
Mm-hmm.
I had people that had 8 to 10 magazines for their address.
In their address.
And it wasn't like it was like Mother Earth News or
It's like Cosmo and you know, I'm just gonna sit back and relax.
Men's Health or Women's Health.
We like to read.
Or, I mean, it wasn't even nudie magazines.
Uh-huh.
It was stuff like People,
Outhouse books.
Cosmo,
Mm-hmm.
The Exquisitor.
Exquisitor.
Yeah, it's another gossip magazine.
Oh.
And it was a lot of gossip type magazines about celebrities.
People don't read books anymore.
Well, these magazines are almost like a book.
Right, but they read short articles. They don't read novels anymore.
I mean, a paratrooper would consider that a book.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has more than one page in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it says more than just pull this cord.
No, she said those are our fire starters, Jason. Oh, those? People read those? No, they wipe their butts with them.
Well, see, and that's my question. With the internet today, and the way that the TV is,
Mm-hmm.
and radio,
Mm-hmm.
why do you need those magazines?
Is there pictures? I really don't know. Like, that's one thing, Windswept. That must be Mrs. Windswept.
Yeah.
I really don't know. Like, that's one thing one thing that I've not really done, and that's one thing Suburban and also Simple Times is saying, 90 pages of ads and 20 pages of articles. Even in the Mother Earth News, I mean, you'll see articles, but there's a lot of advertising because they have to make their money somehow, and the way that they're making their money is by selling ads.
I get that, but what I don't get is how is People Magazine, Cosmo.
I don't know about People and Cosmo, but
and Gossip. I'm strictly talking about Gossip magazines.
Yeah.
Because with Mother Earth News, with the Trapper Predator
right, you can
Caller,
file those and use
with
them later.
Men's Health, Women's Health, you know, Fur Fish and Trade.
Right.
All those. You know, the what's the one that Stacey Lynn Harris was just on the cover of?
Food and
what was it?
Country.
You know, those things have information in them that you can learn and gardening magazines. Those ones I understand because they still have useful information in them, and people still want some type of hard copy.
Right, because at the end of the day, if the power goes out, or you can't pay your cable bill, or your electric bill, or whatever, and you can't get online to access that information, a hard copy. I mean, we do that each week right now with our Homestead, or with our meals that we're doing. We're printing out all of the menu, all of the recipes, and then we're filing them away if we like them.
Yeah.
Because, one, you might not ever find that recipe again because the way the World Wide Web is, it's crazy trying to find the same thing twice. But, two, then you have a hard copy that if you don't have access to a computer, you don't have access to internet, you don't have access to power, there's so many different things that could go wrong that a hard copy is way more, just more valuable.
Right.
But the information that's in those is not useful.
Right.
I have
It's
no
just
idea.
gossip.
No idea.
And it's no different than Googling who is Brad Pitt sleeping with. And you can get all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and my route is a rural route. But it's not that rural.
Well, and now Josh has a good point. Or is that... That's somebody else. JC says we don't all have the same priorities. Some like to bury their heads in the Hollywood, NFL, etc. sand.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is it's hard to look through our glasses.
Well, yes, I understand that point. But I just thought that because of the internet, just like because of cell phones, not that many folks have landlines in their homes anymore.
Not very many people have hardcore computers anymore. Desktops. The only desktops you see are in like businesses, and even then, like at ours, we hardly have any towers. Everything is a docking station for a laptop that you can pick up and take with you and go work at home.
Right. And so I'm just wondering how these magazines are surviving.
Still surviving, yeah.
You know, so that was my little rant. If you're getting junk magazines like that, cancel that subscription. Just look it up on the internet, because every last one of those magazines also has a website that has the same stinking articles.
Or if you know somebody who's getting those magazines and they just insist on getting those magazines, hit them up after they're done with them and use them for recycling projects.
Yeah.
Because there's one that I'm not covering tonight, but we're going to cover in a video, is making seed paper versus we're going to do seed tape in a minute. But you know how sometimes you can buy those, like they do it a lot of times with wildflowers, where they'll make like a paper pulp, and then they put the seeds down in there as it's wet and let it dry that way, and then they can roll it out and then, bury it in the dirt, and everything grows based on that.
Okay, so do your project, because you wanted to be in charge. Called me weak last week, so you be in charge.
I'm afraid my stuff dried on me.
You be in charge.
I think it dried. So we were talking about, Jason and I were talking earlier in, I guess it was in January or February. One thing we never have a lot of success with is any kind of really small seeds. What happens is either we plant too many, they get too close together, and then we don't get a chance to thin them out, and then they either choke each other out or whatever, or we don't plant enough, and then they die out, and we don't have any.
Or
the
freaking dose.
For the ducks, yeah, that's the other thing. Anyway, so what we're doing is this year, and we've seen this project done a million times, and so we're going to try it this year, and that's making your own seed tape. And all you need is you can buy cheap toilet paper. We got this at Aldi, very cheap.
Yeah, it's the John Wayne toilet paper.
It was like 88 cents for a 4-pack or 6-pack or something like that.
Ask me why it's John Wayne toilet paper.
Why is it John Wayne toilet? I know this is gonna be bad.
Because it's rough and tough and doesn't take crap off of anybody.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is actually kind of surprising. It's not too bad. And it's 2-ply too, I think. Is it 2-ply or is it single-ply? Yeah, it's 2-ply. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
See, another reason you should buy from Aldi. Just saying. So anyway, what you do is you unroll this, and you roll it as long as you need. So, like, if your bed's going to be like a 4-foot bed, you would roll out 4 feet. And then what you do is take a ramekin or a little bowl, whatever, and you put flour in there, and then just enough water to make it a paste. Now, I don't know how many of y'all remember when you were kids, if you ran out of glue at the house, parents would just throw some some flour in, some water in, mix it up, and it would turn into a nice sticky paste. And so what you do is you just mix flour and water, and you can use a brush. I'm not really into all that. Just use your finger. And what you do is you just put a little bit of a dab on the paper towel, and then you put the seed, which, where you didn't get the seeds out?
You didn't tell me to get the seeds.
So we were going to do carrots this way, because carrot seeds are super, super, super small, and he doesn't even have them. But anyway, so you would take the carrot seed and place it on the little blob of the flour and water, and it'll dry there. And you let it dry. You have to let it completely dry, and then roll it back up. And then when it's time to go out and plant, you dig your trench, and then you unroll your paper, and then put your dirt over it, water it in, and the toilet paper will decompose.
Oh, I know what I did.
And it's a good setup for small seeds, like radishes, carrots, things that are important for spacing and that can be small and kind of fall out of your packet really quick or fall out of your hand real quick.
Now, if you want to get crazy with it, and let's just say you got a little, your row's only going to be 2 foot. You can even cut this down even more if you wanted to take the time.
Right.
Because that's everywhere that we saw. They literally just cut strips of this. They took the time.
See, I wouldn't do that. That's too much.
And cut strips and then rolled it back up and it.
Nope.
Did
I
that.
just don't. I mean, I don't have the time for that. For the amount, the cheap part of the toilet paper, how much that costs, I would just put it in there and be done. Okay, so I want to know what Yankee's comment is. I must have said something wrong. Would you place a dot per square? It depends on what your spacing is on each plant.
We have diamonds.
It just kind of depends. And yeah, Suburban says an example is basil seeds. Yeah, super, super small. Donna says, I sprinkle lightly in my garden. See, we've done that in the past, but what happens is when you start to sprinkle, you still have that issue.
You still got the thinning issues. But you also got, if you sprinkle, like with carrot seeds, you can't put them down, but like
just barely under the, yeah.
Like that much. So you run into a situation later, Dustin, where birds can come, wild birds can come,
just peck it right
off the top.
Yeah. Tweezer seeds, yeah.
You know, where this, at least helps that.
Yeah. And so Suburban says her master gardener friends use Elmer's glue. I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I just get a little nervous about just how great is the glue that it might keep it from. I don't
You're
know.
so negative.
I don't know. They're tough to separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the thing. And what we were thinking of is this is a good project when it's raining or when it's cold outside that you can get stuff ready. You know, when we have these down months where it's cold and there's really not much you can do outside, you know, I sit in my corner and crochet. And the girls, their patience, you know, they could crochet for a little while, but then after a while, they're done with that. So this would be a good project for the kids, where you could get your kids involved, teach them about being prepared. You know, you could even you could turn it into a huge homeschool lesson with math. I mean, you could teach about measuring. I mean, there's so many different things that you could do. And, I mean, it just, the potential for this little project, there's so many different ways you can go with that, so.
And that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow, because it's calling for heavy rains and stuff tomorrow.
I sit in my corner, and I sit in my corner via Kitty's Homestead. Yeah. Don't we all?
So.
I was up with them last night, telling them you were snoring. They didn't believe me. They thought you were awake. Then I told them you had to deliver mail. Then they believed me. Wow, Yankee Living says it's snowing right now there. Woo! I sit and knit and complain it's too cold. Yep. Karen said you were dreaming about being a tractor.
Okay, so
we want to see pictures.
I want to see pictures.
Yeah. We've already been hit with the storm headed your way. Lovely. Maybe it'll rip our roof off, like an empty roof. God knows we don't need to file anything else with USAA right now.
Sometimes I worry about you. All right, so this week, if you want to win the soap pack, essential oil pack, candle holder pack.
What the hell are you talking about?
The stuff that we're going to be giving away.
Oh, what are we giving away?
I don't know. We'll put something together in a box. And with the pictures. Get the pictures out. So, what is it? Mary S. and Terry have been winners, right?
I think so.
So, you guys can't win again. But I still want to see the pictures. If y'all the only ones, then you win again. So, alright, book review time.
Dun dun dun.
You want to go first?
No, go ahead.
You should go first.
So Urban, if she has tomatoes that should have been in the ground weeks ago, she started them too early.
Yep. Okay. I know a lot of people have been asking me.
Let the disruptive chat begin.
We've been kind of doing insomnia again, and people were asking questions about growing stuff in containers. And I tried to do a drawing, but everybody said it looked inappropriate. They said it looked like a poop when I was trying to explain how I set up my containers.
Okay.
So this week, my book is going to be Incredible Vegetables from Self-Watering Containers. Now, this is a great book because it tells you step by step with each vegetable how to grow it in a container.
It's one of the reasons we got that, because of course I'm cracking up because each thing says pick your pot. I mean, Palmetto just walked in the door, so
so you have to encourage him?
Yep. Love you, Pooper Scooper.
I mean, even a paratrooper could do this.
I mean, there's plenty of pictures.
There's plenty
for
of
him.
pictures for them. So it's a great book. It covers drainage. It covers pruning. It covers sowing the seeds, pest control,
different soils, like everything.
Soils, using arbors and stuff for climbing veg, all kinds of things.
Pot, soil, plants, water, and
carrots.
Yeah, it just tells you like different containers, what what would be conducive for each.
Yeah, because corn.
Because they've even got corn. Yeah.
And you can't use the same type of a container for corn that you would for carrots.
Right.
I mean, you could, but you wouldn't be as successful. And flip that, you definitely wouldn't be successful.
Keep them high so rabbits can't eat your veggies. Or swans, or geese, or chickens, or ducks.
So that book is now in the description. Here's your book.
Go figure that I want to talk about meat. So, my book, we picked this up a while back. We have this favorite place in Greenville called Mr. K's. We've always bought secondhand books. We don't really like to buy things firsthand. We like to be able to take it off of somebody else's hands who doesn't appreciate its value, kind of thing. And we found, Second and Charles was a good place for a while. Then we started realizing how much of a ripoff they truly are.
Their customer service just sucks.
Yeah. And so we were down the street in Greenville from Second and Charles, and we found this cool little place called Mr. K's. And they have a lot of self-reliant books, poultry books, pig books, everything. And so we came upon this one, and at first I was like, man, that's a pretty steak right there on the front page. So of course it made me pick it up and look at it. And what I noticed right away is it talks about not just, it goes from anywhere from knowing how to buy meat, like if you're just going to the store, what you need to buy, how to butcher it, how to cook it, everything. And so this book, and it goes through all of the different types of meat. It goes through beef, pork, lamb, chicken, turkey, duck, rabbit, everything. And it tells you how to cook it, it tells you how to butcher, and then like one of the things that I really liked is they tell you
hanging times.
Right, but they also tell you like some of the different parts of the meat, like you'll see it labeled in the store and you don't know where that cut came from. Yeah, like everybody knows what a Boston butt is, but it doesn't come from the butt of the pig. It comes from the shoulder of the pig.
Donna, to answer your question, yes. You gotta have very loomy soil in the container, and you gotta have enough space for them.
But like, there's recipes for pastrami in here. There's ways to do. It's a very valuable book, especially if you're going to butcher at all on your own.
It's a must-have book.
This is a must-have book because here's the pig, and it shows you the full diagram of what cuts come from where on that pig. And if you can lay that out while you're butchering,
that's what we did.
You're not gonna screw up. You know where the spare ribs are. You know where the belly is. You know where the bacon's gonna come from. And this book, y'all, it was $10 at the used bookstore. And this is a hardback, and look at how thick that book is.
I think our Amazon link, I think it's like $14.
Originally, it's like a $20-something book. But people just don't have the appreciation for, this is a lost art. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people don't, there's no value in the general public. There's a value amongst all of us, but in the general public, this book wouldn't sell very well. And that's probably why it's, you know, but even like this, it breaks down the chuck of the beef and breaks it down into pieces of the chuck part of the cow.
Mr. Windswept, it's in the description of this.
It's called the Meat Hook Meat
video. Book. You'll have a link to be able to go straight to it, but it's called the Meat Hook
Meat Book. And it's put together by a group. It's a restaurant.
Yeah. Now, parental warning. This book does have some foul language in it.
Yeah, so this is an adult book because even in some of the recipes, because there are recipes too, like this is Meat Hook chili, you know, like there's recipes, they drop the F-bomb occasionally. But, you know, they talk about making beef jerky. There's, you know, ways to process sausage. I mean, there's recipes for sausage. I mean, here's how to butcher a chicken. You know, I mean, it's a very, very useful. This is one of those when we were just talking about there's a rabbit. This is one of those books that if you had to have a hard copy of something, this would be it. I mean, this is our go-to now on butchering stuff because, I mean, anybody can cut pieces up.
Yep.
But if you know exactly what pieces you're cutting up, you can be a little bit more precise.
Yeah.
You know, instead of butchering something up, and I use that term loosely, you can be more precise like a surgeon and actually go in and put together exactly what piece you want. Like, because we've been talking about like pancetta and things like that on the pork that you have to, there's a certain part of the loin that you have to get into to be able to get those certain cuts of meat. And this book,
this book took me from following the meat.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's what you kind of do when you cut, like when you cut the shoulder out. You kind of follow the meat to having rough cuts. To we have some pretty good cuts now. We were able to butcher Clinton up real nice. Now, granted, her pork chops are huge.
Yeah.
And
Barnes & Noble, $5. There you go. So yeah, and I mean, great pictures, a lot of really good, I mean, how to do hams. Here's pig to pork in 5 easy cuts. I mean, that's fantastic. This book is way worth more than the $10 that we pay for it. I mean, I would have paid probably $30 for it.
Yeah, I would have paid 50 or 60 bucks.
Yeah, just to know that I could have it and have the descriptions that we have.
Yeah, and the step-by-steps and everything. Now, I wish it would have venison in it, but...
Right. So it doesn't have venison? Has rabbit, but not venison. That's crazy. But like even in the back here, it has how to make lard.
We probably should have looked at that.
Yeah. But they have duck in here, turkey. Speaking of turkey, okay, so I'm getting ready to go squirrel.
Hold
what?
on. It's called the Meat Hook Meat Book.
It's in the description in the video. You should be able to click right to it and it'll tell you what all the information on it. So speaking of turkeys, did you know, here we are, we're past Easter. So most of your Tractor Supplies now are pulling all their chicks. Or are they? They're not. And they're not marking them down like they did last year. At least not in our rural areas. Everybody still has chicks. I don't know about y'all, but everybody still has chicks and nothing is on sale. Not only that, but we had to go by there today. The one in Anderson is now selling turkey poults.
Why didn't you buy some?
Because I didn't like the way they looked.
Okay.
And they wanted $8 a piece for them, which is about what you would
cheap.
pay. It's about $8 if you were to pay at, you know, a hatchery. But then the problem with that is you normally have
Shipping.
a minimum. Well, you have a minimum. You have to buy so many of them, and you have to do shipping. So, Donna S. Wow. Glad to see you come around. So I thought that was interesting that now not only are we not pulling the chickens, we're actually introducing turkeys. So I thought that was cool. that they're now kind of branching into that, at least in some of the rural areas. I don't know about in your cities and stuff if that's as popular. But around here, it seems like that's, you know, now granted, they only had 5 or 6 of them sitting in there. Now, I don't know if it's because they had sold all of them or if they're only ordering a couple at a time because, you know. But like Suburban said, at her local feed and seed, they're selling them, but they won't even sell them unless you buy at least 5 of them. So they're trying to make their money back. So. What you want?
The thing that's on the floor beside you.
Oh. Don't look at me like that. I'm going to put your finger in it.
Okay, so let's move on to
I
the
don't have
trap
turkeys up here.
of the week. The trap of the week this week is a lethal trap. It is what
The
they...
other one, well, the first one was a lethal trap too.
Okay. A lethal trap that could hurt you.
Oh. I mean, yeah, anyway.
This is called a conibear trap. Now, the conibears come in multiple sizes. The most common ones are the 110, the 220, and the 330.
330. The big mama.
Now, the 110 conibear hurts when it catches you right. It can break a bone, but most of the time it just bruises really well. 220, more than likely, depending on which bone you catch it will break. The 330, it doesn't matter where you get caught, it will break
it's
a
gonna
bone.
break a bone.
Now, each one of these conibear traps are designed for certain target animals. And there are laws in place in most states that you can't use a 330 to try to catch a muskrat.
Right.
Now, when you're trapping beaver and you set the 330 with the beaver, you may catch a muskrat.
Right, but that's not the target animal.
But that's not the target animal.
Right.
That's not why you're there.
Right.
But the one that we're highlighting this week is the 110 conibear. It looks like this when it's not set. The 110 conibear can be used legally for mink, weasels, muskrats, some places use them for fisher, some place uses them for other different small predatory animals.
House cats.
Now,
you
you can use them to catch squirrels. Everybody always asks, what trap would I put in my bob?
In your bob? Oh, yeah, got it.
This is one of the traps that I would have in my bug out bag. And the reason for it is it weighs probably maybe a pound.
Yeah, we measured them because we have to put them on the website and measure them out for shipping, and it weighs 12 ounces, so it's not even a pound.
Not even a pound.
It's 3/4 of a pound.
And you can set this up and you can catch dinner. Okay? Now,
I want to get some yo-yo fish traps.
you can catch fish in these bad boys. I've caught some brim and other things.
But
Now,
it's cool to watch them set them.
how you set this trap. Okay, this is your spring. Now remember, all traps have basically 3 major parts. You have your spring, your jaws, and your trigger. Okay, same way with a rat trap. Okay, with a T-Rex rat trap. You have your springs, your jaws, okay,
And your trigger.
and your trigger. So 3 major components for a trap.
They're there.
They're there. Okay. For this guy, you squeeze down this trigger, or I'm sorry, you squeeze down the spring, bring it around. This one needs to be fixed. I don't like the trigger on this one. Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Then you set it. like such. Now, what happens is you see this part right here. Okay? That's your trigger. Okay? That's what sets it off. And if you set it off while this is in my hand, we're going to have
I was going to give it to you.
Major divorce lawyers on the phone.
I was giving it to you. I'm not going to set it off. Are you crazy?
You just had that. I saw the look in your eye.
No.
Okay? You can catch squirrels, chipmunks, rats, and these puppies right here. Okay?
Go ahead.
And so this is our trap of the week. Now,
Jason. Rat traps sometimes won't catch mice because they aren't heavy enough. That's true. I mean, even the ones that we have, you know, you have to be, you definitely have to be target specific on some of the smaller animals. A larger trap might not, you know, like if a muskrat goes through, if a muskrat goes through a 330, sometimes they can go through and not even set it off. So, you know, just kind of depends on the trap. I've seen some of the, we've had a rat trap set and watched a field mouse go across it and just jump right on it and it didn't set it off. So.
But that wasn't with the T-Rex.
No, it wasn't the T-Rex.
So, what is the price on those?
I think single, if you buy them single, they're like $3.99 a piece.
But we're running a
but
special.
we're gonna run we're gonna run the special
on a dozen.
10% off. They're normally $39.95. So you take, or $39.99. So you take $4 off of that. This is like $35.
$35 for a dozen.
Hold on. I think it's $35.99 though. Hold on, let me look. I've got it. It's already up on the website. So if you go to the products, it'll be under weekly trap special. If you click on the weekly trap special, you'll see a picture of it there, and the price. Man, my battery's low. Price is $35.99. Yeah. So they're $36. Now tell everybody, when we were looking at everything, I looked at the Victor traps because there's a little bit of debate back and forth about Victor versus Duke. Most people that don't use traps don't know anything about it, but it's kind of like the Coke and Pepsi world.
Yeah, well, I mean, both Victor and Duke have been around since the beginning.
Right. Well, this particular trap was around like in the 50s.
The argument always been is some people say Duke ran into trouble one time. They got some very bad steel. And Josh will understand this. And, you know, if your steel is weak and it's not good, solid American steel, then you can run into some problems where the trap should have been, where the critter would have been caught, it would bend. So basically, in your jaw, right in here, you know, they would bend.
China steel sucks.
Or the spring would break.
Right.
You know?
So you wouldn't be able to catch your animal.
And so Duke went through this stage where they were just getting really bad steel. Well, they fixed that now. But of course, that reputation, you know, it's when you get a bad rep, sometimes it sticks. Well, that didn't happen during my trapping time. That was before the fur market dropped.
Right.
You know, that was kind of all 1800s time. And so that gave him a bad reputation that's followed into this day.
Right.
Now, Duke is a less expensive trap.
much less. Like, the Victor traps are almost twice the price of the Duke traps.
And Victor was a big name company that came in, and they had good steel, and they made good quality traps.
Well, and they have the reputation the rat traps are,
And
you know,
well,
mouse
they
traps.
didn't get into that till after the 70s.
Yeah, but
You know, but their reputation grew when they kind of survived through the fur market drop in the 70s, where they branched out and really focused on mice and rats, and that kept them alive. So now they had a good name. So now, of course, sometimes some companies, when they get a good name, they raise the price. The Victor 110 Conibears were almost double.
there were $625 or $695 for each trap, and the Dukes are like $395, I think.
Yeah.
Trap.
And I have, when it comes to my Conibears,
Everything's Yeah.
all I use is the Duke.
Yeah.
And I have not, in 20 plus years of professional trapping, meaning I charge people to come to their property and trap.
Right.
20 plus years of professional trapping, I have not had a Duke trap fail. Now, with that being said, I recommend, when it comes to the Duke's Conibears, I recommend those. Now, with the coon cuff, okay, I use the Duke coon cuff, but I'm slowly switching to the Minnesota
brand.
Trap brand, the Freedom brand. One, because that's 100% made in America. Two, it has a step plate on it, so that way my daughters can set it. And three, and granted, this may be a fluke thing, because I never had a coon pull out of a coon cuff, but I caught a smart coon, and he shimmied up a tree and just let himself free hang until it literally ripped the skin and stuff off, and he came out of that Duke trap. Now, 2 sets down, I had him by the other paw in the Duke trap. There are some modifications to the Conibear of the Freedom brand that I like that Duke hasn't done. Duke has just a stake where you can just stake it in the ground and set it and go. Freedom brand has made it to where there is an attachment, a steel plate attachment that it can slide in, that now you can set this in the middle of the creek and
Slowly.
and you're liable to get the raccoons in the shallow water in the creek where they're over there flipping stones trying to find the crawdads.
Right.
You can go right out there to them.
Though, to be fair, it's our own fault. We sell our scrap to China boats just off of our coast, and they sell it back to us as new steel. I would not be surprised by that at all.
So, don't let anybody discourage you about Duke Conibear traps. I love my Duke Conibear traps.
And we've used them. We haven't bought new Conibears since we've been together. So you've had the same Conibears for at least 13 years. And we still use them, and every year we still catch stuff in them.
And here's the thing. I bought those Conibears used.
Yeah.
I bought them from one of my trapping mentors, Steve, down out in North Augusta. When I was going to college, he approached me, and his wife was making him thin out the traps that he had. And he sold me, I mean, it was just a stupid amount of traps for very, very cheap. And I bought them. And I'm still using them on my trap line today.
And the other thing I like about these is, and you might explain this, is that all of these parts can be replaced on these. So if your trigger breaks, and we've done this, if your trigger breaks, you can buy a new trigger and put it on there.
Yep.
And because like this one's only one. Usually there's two. So this is one of the ones that we would, we would have to fix.
Yeah.
So Lonely wants to know, is the shipping included? No, it's figured in when you check out. We have it set up. That's why we have to know the weight of everything. we put the weight into the description on the back office of our website, and it calculates the shipping based on it being sent from our place to your place, and it's been pretty accurate so far. Today I had one, it was just dead on the money, so
Cool.
it's pretty good.
But here's the thing, Lonely Prepper, I'm not shipping. If you buy some, I'm not shipping it to you.
Yeah, you have to come down
You
here
have
and
to.
get 'em.
You have to come and get them. Why? Because you have a hat that's been sitting here waiting from you from what, 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
You
I still have to fit you for your
You
cake.
still got to get measured for your cloak. And you've been promising to come down and visit for forever.
Forever.
So buy them if you want to, but I ain't shipping them.
Suburban says, my stepdad works in an American steel mill. Y'all wouldn't imagine what it's like. I can't fathom what the conditions are like in China. Oof.
Yeah.
That's rough.
So I guess that's our show. We don't have time to do an update.
Update on what?
The Homestead.
Check out the blog.
Check out the blog.
We did an update then. I'm coming. We'll talk to you about possibly next week. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. They say they won't ship them, but I did ship yours. They went today because I was waiting on you to just come by and come get them this weekend, but nobody ever reached out to us. But there, Amanda, yours went out again. Yours went out this morning as well. So everybody should have their stuff by probably Tuesday. So.
I threw a brick in the air.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You're so silly. Did you put the t-shirt in the package? There was supposed to be a t-shirt in there? Why was there supposed to be a t-shirt?
I don't remember.
No, we didn't get Josh's cards yet, did we?
Uh-uh.
No. Suburban wants to know if you're doing another live stream later.
That's up to Mama.
Maybe. Maybe. I
Was
might
I
be
supposed
up
to
for
put a
it.
t-shirt?
I don't know. Maybe.
We have been putting mostly. We've been putting the t-shirts.
Well, okay, so here's the
I
issue
think
with
we're out of
Mr.
t-shirts.
Windsweat. No, we have t-shirts. Here's the thing. Okay. She won a few weeks back. Okay. I'll tell you what, we'll throw one in the mail for her. Here's the thing. When we got your package of the rat traps, it was already sealed in a box ready to go. So I slapped a sticker on it and sent it because I knew you guys had been waiting for them. So I didn't even take them home, rebox, or do anything. We literally stuck a sticker on it and sent it off.
And to be honest, Mr. Winslow, what happened with your traps is the guy that we normally deal with. I wasn't going to put his business out there that much, but I know the guy personally. He's a very good friend of ours. So if y'all want to put his name is Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Put his mom on your prayer list. Because what happened with yours was it sat there for a week.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Almost a week. About a week.
Because he's been having to take his mom to chemo. And when you called and said, or when you reached out and said, you know, traps ain't, you guys sent the traps, and I kind of looked at Robin and I'm like, well, what the crap? And so we called down there and Mike answered the phone and he said, Tim said you were picking them up. I said, no, we were going to have you guys ship them.
Just ship them straight to him. There's
I
no
said,
point
they
in
got
us
to go to
coming
North
to get
Dakota.
them. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I don't know if I can ship them to North Dakota. And I said, all right, I'm coming.
Yeah,
And
so we're an hour and a half away from
Yeah.
that.
So I went
Augusta,
down there the
so.
very next morning and got them, brought them up here. We slapped a sticker on them.
And then went out. Yeah, he got them Friday morning
Yeah.
or Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Came back and then we got them out
Yeah.
this morning.
So that's...
Night,
that's
Suburban.
what happened. So, okay, the Ducks are still following Carol.
That's the
Bonterre
funniest.
says Bonterre says she's wearing her
Big Bear t-shirt,
right
and
now.
she's got a sticker on the back of her vehicle. It's so cool, so awesome.
Catfish doesn't wear my t-shirts no more.
Well, you know, we've got big stickers and little stickers now. So the
Catfish
little
don't call me
stickers,
anymore.
oh, you poor baby.
Nope, he's got another spear chucker he hangs out with.
Uh-oh, are you a jealous spear chucker?
I'm a jealous spear chucker.
But yeah, so Lots of stuff going up on the website lately. Ladessa, I've got to go get her some rings for her keychain stuff tomorrow. We're going to put those up on the website.
We're going to be recording the very first podcast tomorrow. Tomorrow. We're going to be recording the very first podcast tomorrow. And then we're going to start working this week of trying to get it out there.
Okay.
So be ready for that.
We're also doing a fun oils class tomorrow.
Okay, cool. So, question before we go. How many of y'all are part of the Big Bear Homesteading group on Facebook? And if you're a part of that, do you like the motivational quotes that I've been putting in there?
Seems like it, because there's been a lot of response to them.
If you guys like them, I'll keep them up. But if you don't like them, then I'll switch to making fun of paratroopers or something.
Tell folks to thumbs up.
Alright, cool. Alright, it is almost 9:30. We've been on an hour and a half.
No, not really. So we came on a few minutes late. But
Anyway.
I deactivated my Facebook months ago. Yes, but your wife still has one.
You think you deactivated it.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what the government wants you to
There's
think.
some fun stuff is good too. Well, that's what you're for.
Yeah.
He suspended his Facebook a while ago.
Mm-hmm. That's what the government wants you to think.
But Amanda's got hers, so we can still.
But remember, be kind to one another. Love on each other. Hey, I challenge you. Say hello to a stranger this week. Just as you're walking through Walmart, just say hi to somebody. Complete stranger. Just do that. It's not as bad as the mad scientist media wants you to think it is. We actually all don't hate each other. Be kind to one another. You don't know what that person's going through. So be kind to each other. Remember, recycle, reuse, repurpose. Keep this junk out of the landfill. That way our wildlife has a chance. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at
7
p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for all you insomniacs, we may be on tonight, but if not tonight, definitely tomorrow. Also, real quick before I hit the stop. Tuesday nights, Breakaway Homestead.
Oh, yeah.
Must see TV. He does an awesome show about music.
Mm-hmm.
He shares his vinyl records and gives you a little bit of history, gives you a lot of good information, and he does great giveaways. And then usually after him, last Tuesday, Josh from, what's he calling himself now?
JEC and me.
He picks it up for an hour. And then he continues with the music. And then I picked it up, I closed it out, and I had a pretty good closing last week. For you guys that were there, you will know it. It was very heartfelt. I dedicated a song to you.
No, you did.
Yes, I did.
What did you dedicate
nope.
to me? Somebody bust him out. What did he
Dedicated a
dedicate?
song. So we're probably gonna. I think Josh is gonna pick it up at the breakaway, and then I'm gonna pick it up after Josh. If Josh doesn't pick it up, then I'll pick it up. But it was rather fun. We had
There
a
was
good time.
actually talks of you and Breakaway doing it together.
Yeah, we're supposed to do it together. We're supposed to.
He's hanging out.
And that is why I love you, man. That is why I love you. So, with that wonderful thought.
Oh, no, we can't stop our show. We forgot, like, the biggest thing.
What?
I'm so disappointed in you. We were going to enlist everybody's help with the menu for next week. We totally forgot.
We'll do that tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Because there's only 29 folks in here now. So, for you 29 folks that stuck around, Okay, we're gonna give you
We'll give you the inside scoop.
the inside scoop.
Next week is going to be Greek. We're doing Greek this week coming. Why are you looking at me like that? Why did you look at me like that? We can't do Viking. We looked it up. We could
Why?
not. We could not. Everything's like blood pudding. I'm not eating blood
Yes!
pudding. No, not happening.
Fucking week.
So no, we're doing. Yeah, you know it's got to have baklava. Yeah, baklava. Sorry, I was gonna call it baklava because of the thing that you wear.
I'm not gonna eat all week. I'm gonna go on a
Well, that's a good start then, honey.
starvation diet.
But anyway, we're doing Greek next week.
Hunger
But
test.
following that week, I know, Terry, please don't go there because now I'm starting to feel all of the. Whew. Anyway, so the following week, we want everybody's help.
And we want your haggis recipes. All stacked in the stomach. Boiled. All chewy like bubblegum. Spearmint bubblegum.
Anyway. So.
I wonder if they're like when they're putting it on.
Stop! So what we're talking about.
No talking, no talking.
So what we're thinking is we have people from all over the country.
In all different walks of life.
In all different walks of life. So what we want is for everybody to submit like their favorite recipe. And if it comes, like if it's passed down, things like that.
Yeah, we want heritage recipes.
Yeah.
Recipes that have been passed down from generation to generation to
Or
generation.
something that has a really cool story, like my F It Nachos. Like
Yeah,
everybody.
and we want the story to go with it.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. Because we are going to design a culture-based cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
And if you submit one with your story, we will put it in there, into the cookbook with the links to your channel,
Right.
whatever. You'll get all 100% the credit
For it. Right. We're going to put that out there. And more than likely next week's blog will probably feature feature those as well.
Yeah.
So my heritage recipe is not legal though. Shut up! Stop talking about haggis! Ah! Ah!
So, if it's got a story, if it came down from your great grandmother, we want to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we want the recipe. And we're going to follow the recipe to a T. And
Perfect.
Perfect,
Recipes
homies.
passed down to the family since the 1800s.
Yep.
Absolutely. So that's the thing. Is like that's the kind of stuff we want, and we want to be able to share these stories with our kids because I
Mhm.
think it's really cool to be like, so and so is Scotch Irish, and this is a recipe that they've been doing for years. Whatever. So. 12-egg German chocolate cake. Oh.
so y'all have already got the head start. Email us those recipes, bigbearfarms@hotmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
You email us a recipe and we try it out, you automatically get a free Big Bear shirt.
What?
Yep. Yeah, I just threw that out there. Didn't even talk to you. I was like, bam! I'm the man. I made this decision. Wow!
Okay, so those Big Bear packages that we're gonna auction off. I've got a cake recipe somewhere that takes 18 eggs. Oh my gosh! Don't ask for the Scott Irish recipes.
So there it is. We threw it out.
Yeah.
Threw it out there. All right.
What type of recipes do you want?
We don't care.
We need at least lunch and dinner recipes. Like we've got to have stuff that's pretty practical for lunches because they make lunch for me to come home and eat. So we've already had Colcannon. I mean, we have. We did the Irish Colcannon. We've already done that. So I mean, I'm
their
just saying.
recipe may be different.
Anyway, so it's got to be stuff that, that's practical enough for us to be able to do lunches or dinners out of. We've pretty much been letting everybody fend for themselves for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
But
So lunch, dinner, Don't overload us. You can throw it if the only thing you got is a dessert. Go ahead and send it, but we don't want to be overloaded with dessert.
Right. Hope you have a lot of potatoes. See, that's what the coal cannon, the week that we did Irish, oh my gosh. We had a 50-pound bag of potatoes, and I swear we probably went through them.
We killed it.
We went through a bunch of potatoes that week. Of course, that was the following week. Jason's like, oh my God. I'm like, I need to go on a diet. Well, no, but didn't we follow it up with pasta? It was bad. It was bad. So anyway.
Two eyes should never be together.
But one thing I have noticed this week with the Greek recipe,
You mean
do
German?
Greeks, no,
Oh.
we're doing Greek this week.
I know the German week was fantastic.
Oh, God, we loved it. Ugh. Yeah, carb coma, absolutely. And you know what? I noticed after both of those weeks, I was miserable after every meal.
Terry's going to get put in timeout.
The thing I've noticed about Greek is I have not found hardly any recipes with beef, red meat in them at all. Everything is pork, chicken, or lamb. It's all white meat. So that's something that's going to be a little bit different, is like when we do moussaka, I'm going to make sure that we put a little bit of beef in there because we're just going to have to.
Why?
Because, yeah, goat and lamb. That's exactly right. Because, like, you have feta cheese, they do the goat meat.
So get some goat. I like
That's what, you know,
goat.
that's what Blaze said. He's like, why don't you just go kill a goat? Are Euros Greek? Yes, they are. The vitamins that the VA said them are $24 a bottle. Ooh. Euro's not goat. I thought Euro was lamb. I don't know. Let me check my beef recipes. Yeah, that's the thing. And I need to get in touch. I don't know if Donna S. is still in here because her husband is Greek Orthodox. I have not found any... I have not found hardly any beef recipes.
Me too, Robbie.
I know, I do too.
Me
Lobster
too.
meat? Ugh. Robbie, send Jason some calamari and squid. I would love calamari and squid. Combo just
But
depends
this
on what
last week
region.
was German week. I mean, since we're just going to keep on running.
We might as well. Well, the great surprise was Aldi.
Yes.
We went to Aldi, and, you know, Aldi is a German company to begin with.
How do you?
And apparently they have been carrying some imported German products. They carry a few throughout the year, but sometimes during the year they carry more than they normally do. And it just so happens that right now they're carrying a lot of that stuff. So one of the things we had was like a Jamaican rum cake that was cooked. It was cooked in Germany and imported from Germany. It was absolutely wonderful. And then there was a cherry cordial one that was just fantastic. Yeah, I saw that. It was funny. They also had some uncured bratwurst that we actually had for dinner tonight. That was fantastic. I mean, it was, and what's crazy is when I picked up the package, like I looked at it and I'm like, these really don't look appealing at all. Like they were nasty kind of looking. And I'm like, you know what? We'll just try them just to see. And they were so good that I went back and bought more tonight for dinner tonight.
Nice.
Because we were out of them, and they were fantastic. So, and we had, they had little glass, and this is where you know that you might be a homesteader if we bought these jars of German candy, and they were like $5.
They were so good.
But the thing is that it came in this beautiful glass jar with a nice gasket and everything. And so it was like, we decided that it was worth the $5 just for the glass jar. We didn't even care about the candy that was in it. But the candy was fantastic.
Phenomenal. And one of the things, they were all fruit flavored. And they had one that was a lemon. And I just dropped it in my tea, and Ladessa freaked out. She's like, you're wasting candy. What's wrong with you? Oh.
But then you had unsweetened tea, and you just put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wow, it was pretty good. Once it dissolved, it had the lemon flavor to it. It was awesome.
So Amanda says she'll send the turkey spinach. That's one of the things we have on our recipe list and it's actually, it was kind of cute. What it was called is My Big Fat Greek Burger or something recipe, and it's ground turkey with spinach and feta and tzatziki. And so I'm really, I love tzatziki. So that'll be fun to make with the cucumber and the yogurt. So I'm excited.
Go dig through those old mom recipe boxes. Give us one that you like. If you like the recipe, send it to us. And what we'll do is we'll make a video of us making that recipe. We'll give you your creds for us making the recipe. Bam. Put all your link and stuff in the description, and you get a shirt. I mean, why would you not want to do it now?
So Amanda says she uses frozen. It calls for frozen spinach, but she just uses fresh and cooks it down. You know, the place that I've found that's actually been really good for getting spinach from is Sam's Club. They've got some non-GMO, whatever, clean stuff, spinach that comes in it's a big, huge box, and it's fairly reasonable. Because everybody knows when you start to cook down spinach, it can take like a cup and it makes you like this much. So, according to the Greeks, they invented everything. So if you just put olive oil on it, it's Greek. Windex fixes everything, right? Yeah, that's what I told the girls. I said, we're going to have to watch My Big Fat Greek Wedding one night this week. But anyway.
All right. So we're going to get off.
So now we're going to get off.
We're going to get off here. So remember, be kind to one another. Love on each other. Remember the challenge. Just say hi to somebody this week. And Josh, I want to holler at you sometime, either later tonight or tomorrow. I want to ask you something. And reuse, recycle, repurpose. Keep everything out of the landfill.
That's right.
Got me messed up.
I'm sorry.
Give our wildlife a chance. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Love you guys.
Night.
Night.